Hey guys, it's Monday. I am going to make a video about Keepa because I just noticed that they made a slight change. I was scanning a couple things in Scoutly, which is my scanning app, which used to be FBA Scan. You might use Scoutly or you might use another one out there, maybe Scout IQ, and there's a bunch of others. So I'm not sure if this is affecting the other ones. I assume it is, but I noticed, so I thought I would just mention it because this was still a feature. We're still able to access this information, what, a week or 10 days ago or something when I made that video about Keepa changing from being free to being paid. So you was using Scoutly and you can scan something and then it'll show you, we'll show you all the information, and they have a little button for Keepa, and then another screen pops up and it's a screen grab of 90 days, 365 days. I think it shows a month or so. And it's supposed to show, or normally forever, it is shown the prices as well as the sales rank history. So with the line, the jagged line going up and down, hopefully a lot of up and down. And I looked at it today, this morning, and the line had disappeared, even though sales rank is checked on the little screen for the screenshot. How long have I been on? I just got on. It's been a minute and a half. Unless it was recording and I didn't know it, which would be weird. But according to this, a minute 42, 43. So yeah, so the sales rank line, the green line that's normally there, which was there even though Keepa became, or you had to pay for Keepa. Hey, Nathan. Seems to have disappeared, which is not a surprise considering that now it's gone from being free to a monthly amount or yearly, whichever one you pay, 17 a month, I believe, or like 150 a year, something like that, which is relatively inexpensive and something you can end up writing off anyway. If you really use it a lot, it's definitely worth the investment. But so apparently it's not going to be free at least in Scoutly. I'm sure it's the same in others too. You're going to have to somehow, we'll pay for it and get it set up there. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that that's a bummer, but I figured it, was going to happen anyway. If they're going to start charging, they're probably not going to just allow all the scouting apps to show that information for free. It just had to catch up to it. So I don't know how, if you do pay for it, how it then gets integrated into your scouting app, whichever one you use, and how that ends up working. But if you have done that already, you can definitely, well, comment now, or leave a comment below in the video to let everybody know. So now, but something so I'll come back to the app, but you can still actually access, so on the website, you can't see and this of course is not if you're out there sourcing whatever you're doing, whether you're at a thrift store, whether you're doing bulk or whatever, using your scanning app, you of course can't access it through there, but you can access it through their website if you're actually using, or if you're actually on your computer looking things up, whatever it may be. So you can, and also of course if you select Keepa or push the Keepa button, excuse me, while you're in that screenshot screen in at least in Scoutly, then it'll actually go to the website. So then this might actually work, but I'm not sure. I haven't used that. So if you're on the website though, I found out that down below the graph, let me see, there's actually a statistics. It says statistics and then there's a little graph next to it. And if you hover over it, it'll show, let me show you. It'll show you the sales rank, not the graph, but it'll show you, whoa, that's weird. It'll show you the statistics. So hold on a second, let me switch this around. So here's a Keepa, a CD that I'm looking at. And if you go down here, you see statistics, and right here is all the sales rank. So they have, what is that? February? Oh, okay. So they have, I can't read it. One day ago, I guess that's I don't know what that is. So there's April 7th, 2017, but they have the last 90 days, the last 180 days, which I believe is the average, I'm assuming, and what it was a day ago. And then here it goes drops, which we assume means that that was a sale. So a sale is about every little less than one a month. So maybe every 6 weeks or so. So anyway, so that information is still there. It's not the same as having the line, which is easier just to quickly look at. But anyway, that's there. If that's something that, I mean, if you're using your computer and you want to take a look at some of the data. The statistics average rank is all I use to set the initial price in Seller Central. Yeah. Jungle Scout Chrome extension. Okay. Well, you guys clearly know more than I do, but thought I would just share that. The line disappeared from Scout IQ and Exceller List also. Yeah, I figured it would. I mean, you can pay for it. I don't know how that works though. If you pay for it, and then you know, how do you? If you're paying for it on the website, then does that enable you to use it in Exceller List or Scout IQ or Scoutly or whatever it may be? I don't know how that's going to work out, but I don't think you really need it, because I was, you know, looking at, I mean, the data that you get in Scoutly, and I'm sure in Scout IQ it's similar, is, you know, I can see the current sales rank for the item, I can see the rolling sales rank, the average sales rank, and then I can see the number of sales right next to it. So that data alone is basically good enough, because when you look at hundreds and then thousands and then tens of thousands of books and or CDs or whatever media you're selling, you get really used to what the sales rank means for books, what the sales rank means for CDs, for vinyl, for video games, for DVDs, whatever it is. And so you can interpret that into, you know, whether it's something that's worth buying. Of course, taking into consideration, you know, number of offers, lowest prices, lowest price or prices for FBA or merchant fulfilled, whichever one you're doing. And then, of course, your experience, your intuition, that type of thing comes into play as well the longer you do this. So you don't necessarily have to have Keepa, but, you know, if you do buy it or pay for it per monthly or for the year, I'm assuming there's got to be a way to integrate it into Exceller List or Scoutly or Scout IQ or whatever it may be. It could potentially be harder for longer tail items, because then you can't tell, you can't see exactly how many sales there have been over the last year or whatever it may be, you know, aside from using the website and hovering over that statistics bar. Or of course, you know, what am I saying here? But of course, you know, if you build up the, wait, no, that was a different, anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, so I'm not sure how that'll integrate, but I think it'll, yeah, be a little bit harder for potentially for the longer tail items, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't come across a long tail item yet to actually experience it, but my assumption is it'll be a little bit more difficult with that, because if it's only selling a couple times a year, that type of thing, then you kind of want to know how long. I mean, it's harder because the rank is going to be higher. It's harder to know exactly how often it's been selling. I mean, of course, you can see the number of sales, but sometimes it'll say 0, but yet it has sold 1 or 2. Sometimes it's not as exact in Scoutly. So now without the sales rank line, it's a little bit more, I think it's going to be a little bit more challenging for that, but we'll see. Time will tell. But of course, you can pay for it, and then hopefully you can integrate it in with your scanning app or Exceller List, your listing app, whatever it may be. Yeah. So that was basically, if you guys have comments or questions about it, let me know. But yeah, that was the gist of the video. I think I don't think it'll be that big of a deal overall. So, and if it is for you, just pay for it. Um, yeah, so I think, I don't know, I can talk about a different topic. Um, let's see. Talk about sales. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I didn't really have anything else much to talk about when it comes to this topic. Uh, I don't really want to. Kind of what tends to happen with the streaming videos is then I start talking about all different types of stuff and get off topic. So I'd like to keep the video to yeah, I agree. He says, I thought I was going to go without it, but these long tail high dollar books are hard to judge, so probably going to bite the bullet. Yeah, I would agree. That's why I think for the longer tail stuff, it makes sense to get to pay for it. But again, it's not that expensive. I mean, I understand if you're newer or if money's tight, another 17 bucks a month or whatever is not going to help, but it's something that, I mean, it, it's money out of your pocket, right? That's what I mean. But it's not that much, and it's something you can end up writing off, and it should help you make more money. So to more than pay for it, it definitely should justify the expense if you use it a lot, because it'll help you make way more money, especially if you're doing like you're saying, doing long tail type of books and other types of items. You're probably going to need it because it's harder to see, where how often something has sold exactly in the last year or so. If you're talking about a book that only sells, I mean, it depends how long tail you're talking. So if it's selling every month, then it's probably easier to decipher from the number of sales, and Scout Lead will show you, or the sales rank, the average sales rank. But if it's, once a month selling, that's pretty often. But if it's only selling every 4 months or twice a year, every 6 months on average, once a year, then you really want to set yourself up to be the next sale. So it's probably going to make sense to get the subscription. Yeah. So it's not a major hurdle, but it's just another little curveball, I guess, that we get thrown. If it's not Amazon, it's something else. So far, things are quiet with Amazon. No major changes as of right now. So I hit a lot of library sales and see high dollar 2 million plus ranks. Yeah. Yeah, and some of those I'm sure for books at 2 million, let's say 2 to 3 million ranked book, um, that let's say is consistently selling for over 50 bucks and you can get it for $1 or two. Even if it takes 6 months, 8 months, even a year to sell, it's going to be more than worth your time to look it up and to purchase it and send it in and wait for it to sell, and also to invest in or pay for the Keepa monthly Keepa subscription, because if that can help you pick out, I don't know what that means. If Scoutly's sales count says 0, I don't buy anymore unless I get it super cheap and the profit margin extremely high, no Keepa needed. Yeah, I use price history to give me hints about the last sale as well. You can often see the sudden spikes if a price is inflated. Okay, so sorry, I use price history to give me hints. Yeah, yeah, that's true. The price history can be an indicator of how the sales have been going as well. but definitely sales rank was like the super easy way to go about it. Um, yeah, when I see zero sales, I always click through to what do you call it? To Keepa. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm gonna do a little research. I guess I'll, at least that's the idea. I'm gonna call or contact them and see, Scoutly, and see if I pay for it. How do they are they able to integrate it, that type of thing. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna do some scanning of a bunch of CDs that I pulled out of the Gaylord, one of my Gaylords. I'll be scanning a bunch of them tomorrow, and I'll see if it's a pain to not have Keepa. I don't think it will be, but you never know. Excuse me. It's amazing how much I, and a lot of us have relied on Keepa. And I know I used Camel before, and now, I've been using Keepa for a while. So, because of what Scoutly shows me, sorry, because all the data that Scoutly gives me, it's proven to be probably like 90-95% of the time enough that I don't have to click through to Keepa. It's just some of that stuff. What happened to Camel? Guys, why are we getting all these people in the Guys, are you seeing these weird comments people are leaving? Are you guys seeing that pop up? Yeah. We didn't rely on anything. We're using the Amazon. Okay. So I don't know what these are like. Yeah. This is weird. It's the first time that's happened. Some random people like calling me names that I don't even understand what they're talking about. Okay. That's weird. I've never had any trolls on my live streams before. I mean, I get random comments left on videos, but live, I don't know, something about the title or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm putting them on timeout, which I don't really know what that means. I guess they can't be a part of it anymore. Yeah, I remember when I used to, I mean, if you watch some of my old videos, probably back in like 2016 or something, when I was just, before I even got FBA scan, just using the Amazon Seller app. I mean, all you get are, yeah, you don't get any information really. You don't get nearly enough information to make it worth it. It's much more worth it to pay, to pay for one of the apps that are just not that expensive these days and have tons of data. Oops. So yeah, definitely worth it for sure. It's funny how I can't imagine there's very many people that are out there. I mean, brand new people that have no clue about what's out there are going to use the Amazon Seller app, I'm sure, until they start watching some YouTube videos or get involved with some Facebook groups and that type of thing. But by and large, I'm sure most people, even people that have only been doing it for a few months, are probably going to be springing for at least the $10 a month Scoutly, membership, or subscription rather, the subscription, just to be able to access all that data. So I can't imagine that there's more than a small percentage of people. I mean, I see it on the forums, the Facebook groups sometimes, where people will say, "Oh, I was using," would they mention what they're using, or it comes up or whatever, and it's always a surprise to me. But it's, when you're brand new. When I first started, I didn't know what was out there. When I started almost 4.5 years ago, actually, yeah, it's been 4.5 years now. There was a lot less available. There was still a good amount of scouting apps, but Profit Bandit was one that was popular, FBA Scan, and there was a couple others most of them are still around, but Scout IQ was not around back then. But now they're just a lot better. I mean, FBA Scan or Scoutly is a much better scanning app than it was when I first got it, and probably due to Scout IQ upping the game and offering way more features and that type of thing. So, but Keepa, well, initially I used Camel, Camel, Camel. That was the one I used. That was important, and yeah, yeah. I've never used Scout IQ or any of the others. Well, I used briefly Profit Bandit, but yeah, FBA scan now. Scoutly is, there's no I don't see any reason for me to switch. They have everything that I need. But yeah, that's true. The 12-month average rank. Yeah. No, it's definitely helpful. Um, I mean, if anybody's watching this and they don't know what we're talking about, I mean, if you're a new, yeah. Oh, yeah. The average rank is huge, huge, huge. Uh, I think it used to I don't know if they just had the current rank before, but I'm not sure. I don't remember that far back. But without the average rank, the current rank is not really that helpful. I mean, it's helpful, but it's not as helpful as having that average rank. That's huge. The number of sales is helpful too. Oh, okay. They don't have it. So yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, you got to find the app that works for you, the scouting app, and just get really comfortable with it, and it'll more than pay for itself. That's for sure. Scout IQ has eScore. Yeah, yeah, they do a different way. I mean, whichever way works for you. But if you're a new seller and you're watching this video, if you happen to be a brand new seller and you're watching this video, I strongly encourage and recommend that you try out one of the scanning apps, whether it's Scoutly, whether it's Scout IQ or any of the others. And you see the huge difference, because using the Amazon seller app, even though it's free, even $10 a month for Scoutly is more than worth it. More than worth the investment of time and money. Well, of money, first of all, and of time to learn it. Because once you learn it, it's so much quicker to make decisions about whether you want to buy something. And when you're first starting out, when you don't have the experience like we do, even having 6 months to a year of experience is huge. Makes a huge difference when you're sourcing. But you have no experience, you're just starting. It's yeah, it's going to be worth it to invest in or pay for the app. There's not too many things you have to pay for when you first start out. Inbound, you have to pay to buy inventory, so source. You have to pay to, if you're doing FBA, you have to pay to ship items in, and then you should at least have a scouting app. You don't need a listing software, but it's very helpful as well. You could probably go without it initially. There's other things like the scanner, but this is a one-time thing, $30, $40, whichever one you get, and you use it over and over and over again. But, there's certain expenses that are definitely mandatory, and I think aside from sourcing, cost of goods, and inbound shipping, you're going to want to get that scouting app at least. And then from there, you can get other things like the scanner, like the listing software, and anything else that, fun stuff that that other people use. But you got to get that scanning app for sure. And unfortunately, Keepa's not going to be there. So that's interesting. There's going to be a whole new generation of sellers from here going forward. Let's say sellers that will start popping up in 6 months to a year talking about, how their experiences and whatnot, and have not had access to Keepa for free. And so they're going to have to learn how to scan and figure out what are good, what items are worth reselling without having that sales rank line and data from Keepa. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But I think there's so much information already within Scoutly and other apps that scouting apps that new resellers should do fine. So yeah. So guys, yeah, I think I'm going to end the video. If you guys can give me a thumbs up, it'd be great. If you want to leave any comments below, please do, questions, whatever it may be. I just wanted to make this video, not make it too long, unless of course you guys had things to say or questions to ask, but I wanted to share it, because some people are, that might not know about this, that it's kind of disappeared. I guess you'll find out anyway while you're listing or scanning, but nonetheless, wanted to let you guys know. So please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I will make another video tomorrow. And as always, guys,